Hello everyone and welcome to Kamikaze. This is one of the first videos that I'm gonna do commentary on because this game has a lot of dialogue and it has a lot of talk. So I thought for it to not be boring that I will do commentary on this one, but we will be back with the no commentary gameplays after this one. So let's start. I mean, this portrait looks really nice. Okay, I guess I have to click on it. The rent is long overdue. My tenants grew complacent with comfort, they're fractured. Minds are beginning to fester, the sickly airborne plague. Of serotonin spores plant falsehoods of happiness within. Their rich cores, J is of no use in the world. The sweet essence of utter despair fuels the hearts and minds of the workers, churning the infinite wheels of profit. My leather bond wallet swallows in anticipation of their turmoil as they harvest sweet, sweet coin from the cold soils of this desolated world. How I crave the sweat-riddled sustenance of unbridled parasitic capitalism. My tenants are mere instruments in the pursuit of blind profit. I trust you to manifest my bidding. Go forth and harvest their labors. I guess that's the farm where they labor. Okay, I'm gonna click on it. We have 3 tombstones of some sort. Okay, I think I'm gonna click. Should I click on, okay, the right one, I guess? Is that looks like a mouse of some sort. An apple with teeth? Aghast, who goes there? All I see is darkness. Within these wretched, damp, stricken walls, how I mourn this loss of vision. Come closer. I don't want to come closer. Come closer. I was once an artist, you know. A sculptor of visual form. One of this world's finest. Workers of light. The boundless expanse of, possibly at my fingertips so cruelly. Snatched away, oh how it was to witness all of creation stretched out before me. Unimaginable. Beauty and unfathomable terror listless. Intertwined a seemingly infinite wallet of sensory pleasures for the eye sockets, yet here I wallow. I was about to say swallow. Trapped in darkness evermore, sight but a once. Beautiful memory, you dear visitor. You know, not how lucky one is to be gifted with sight. It's only though lost we learn the true value of that we easily take for granted. Okay, get back, apple. Your head. I mean, let's be nice. I'm curious. Your head. What? Do I still have a patch of marmite? What's that? On my chin from this morning's breakfast. I mean, there is nothing on your chin. There's only lips and big teeth. Actually, only the lower part. Spit it out. It's rather unkind of you to mock the blind for such trivial sensibilities as wayward stains after all what is stains. Significance compared with the infinite expanse of time following one's departure from this life. We must not waste the sparse time we have to experience existence within this universe fusing of matters of the stain. No, alas, is it indeed. That I happen to be balding I have suspected. Such matters for some time now. Indeed, the passage of time is not kind to the hairless of people such I. It is with great horror that the gradual rescinding is witnessed. I mean, we all have those. It's a problem for everyone. The slow, near, unbearable loss of one's curls, the I can't say the word. Inevitability of the experience as your lifelong head top. Companion vanishes before you. It's rough to say the least. Tell me, have you heard the tale of the orchid of spurs? Is it orchid or orchid? Breathless were those whom entered the remains, but a series of the raw tangled husks interwoven. Isn't intertwined the word? With the mulch and bracken a vibrant technicolor oasis of poison-tinged flora and fungal matter, an untouched miracle of nature's spite. Some say a scroned, ancient woodland god slumbers with its myths hidden within the marked depths. A lot of S's in the dialogue. Of a crimson pole composed of its own teardrops irreparably broken by the loss of its only daughter of the callous, ever insatiable bloodlust of humanity, and eternal forest entity slain as a false prophet and putrid harbor of anti-capitalist ideologies, a mere disruption to the ever-wearing cogs of our vast smog, belching industrial inferno within this twisted orchid. There lies a divine gift unreachable by the scared hands of mankind, a single fruit-bearing apple tree, the consumption of which is stated to spark unrivaled personal growth within the devourer host, be it rumor or truth. Countless herds of ambitious botanists have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of the apple's discovery, wandering into the depths of the orchid never to be seen from again. Sounds familiar or nonsense? I'm gonna be nice to him. Sounds familiar. How so? Have you experienced lost at the cruel hands of the orchid too? Do you hear them? Still screaming in your dreams, pleading with silent cries as they try crawling their way back into this existence through the passage of your sleeping eyelids? Each day, I ask myself, why them? Why not take me instead? I'd sacrifice this from 1,000 times over, just to feel the warmth of their faces once more, just to bask in their presence and share in a small moment together. There is a vast hole where my heart once lingered and emotional. Emptiness prompted by the depth of such loss. I fear my mind will never be free of this, that is. Guilt will never leave this wretched, sulking form I've become. Harvest rent, ignore. Harvest, yeah. Why not? You have come to collect. Fine. Free me of this guilt. Extinguish the blistering woe that haunts the souls. I should have died back then, back when it meant something, back when I could have saved them. Alright, so... Oh, I need to check all of them? Dude. Alright. Looks like an apple man? More like a... Yeah, this is an apple man. Wow, look at those eyes. Ho ho ho, you're an odd looking fella. It's been a long all while since I've seen an actual human skin wearers around these parts. Recently it's just been apples, apples and more apples. Ho ho, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of fruit and verging on full body metamorphosis myself, but lately the mold seems to be taking hold of more than just the tenant's forms. At first I was admittedly pretty horrified when my pigmentation began festering into the sickly shade of putrid green. Excuse me. I even vomited a little when my fingernails inverted and my organs gradually fused in. A sponge-like plantae matter that consumed my human nerves into a ragging torrent of anguish. Those distortions of the flesh were little more than an appetizer for what was to come, the rat. It devours us. Imagine if you will ever sell in your wretched body, screaming out in blistering pain, begging for the sweet release of death. Days upon days of writhing agony, watching as your mind wilts and your bodily husk festers, unable to intervene. This constant torture, and still they expect rent. These days I can barely muster the will to lift myself from my spore-riddled matters. How can they possibly expect me to muster the vapid chalice of monetary gain with such afflictions? Our government has abandoned us. There is no budget for the suffering. They have left us out in the sun to decay whilst they lord around in their mansions, flaunting our purse. Here we remain, empty, broken, our souls to be reaped in the grand harvest, our minds destroyed by those bearing the ghastly little of landlord. Ha! You seem awfully worked up. What were you before all this? I want to know. What were you? All of this, believed or not, I was once the simple flesh-bound human like you. I had dreams, grand ambitions, love. Questions such as often assertion, the bland emotion-sapping void known as a career. For I, it was never a matter of choice, but mere necessity. Do you know the depths of despair felt only by those in retail? What? You're like selling phones and stuff? The malice in the eyes of the public, the sheer disregard for the emotional struggles of their fellow people as they tear their minds assert in the vapid pursuit of capitalistic trinkets. What drives one to berate a mere teenager over the piteous of storefront inconvenience? The madness within their souls, the blind desires to inflict their suffering upon those they deem lesser. Wealth for all its worth corrupts. Wealth drags the human from one's soul, tapping their eyes shut to the callows nature of the vast emotional cruelties they enact upon the struggle. Can they see not the soul breaking within those they damage so willingly? Are we as a society not better than this? There is no merit to be found in the cycle of neglect and despair. Ho ho! The light of ambition that once drove me all been extinguished. My dreams cling as desperation to the fading hopes of future joy. How long will they last? Am I merely chasing the ghost of an illusion that never was? What happens if you eat apples? What's your favorite color? I mean, let's talk about something positive. Colors, I swear, if he says green. The red distortion is all consuming. Those eyes no longer bear the capacity for color retention. Okay, does it say color now? All I witness with these weary pupils is a bleak sea of green, riddled with pulsations, rippling in motion with the earth, the sensation. That of an old god's fractured dreamscapes projected through this accursed network of warped spore tendrils. Ho ho! We apple folk are privy to sensations. Wow. Beyond human perceptions, each day the vortex of pain spiraling this broken form grows ever more intense. I can but pray for an end to the suffering. Ho ho! This misery will be the end of me. Harvest rent, ignore. I mean, harvest, why not? Take what you will, to live is to suffer. Spill my lifeblood upon the floors of your palaces. The system was never built for the likes of us. We sculpted the very foundation of this modern world. We tilled in factories and broke our bodies upon the altar of progress. Yet those above us seek only to see us harmed. Tell me, is a society so willing to crush the minds and souls of the exploited worth saving at all? I mean, everyone is worth saving. Ho ho. Not because something is broken you have to give up on everyone else. That's my thoughts. Okay, we check this one, last one, let's see. It's an apple with hands. I think these are hands. Oh my god. Yikes. You always walk on people unannounced like that? Gross. Hey Stinky, why do you look like an... Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say gross because that's kind of rude. Stinky, I mean, let's go. This twisted husk of a decaying flesh suit was once human like you. Fungal spores lined the saddened budget wailing of these dismissal quarters, plaguing both air and mind as they contour our forms into these wretched fruit-like vessels, the eye-watering aroma that offends your nostrils. So, this maggot-infested skin weeps with the pungent fumes of sentient rot. Soon I shall become naught but mush and calcified bone remnants festering on the floor of this accursed apartment. You know not of pain, the ever-gnawing sensation of despair as you watch helplessly. From the sideline of your own existence do I have ambitious. Yes, in another life I sought the simplicity of travel, vowing one. I mean, one day I traveled the seven seas in search of a purpose amongst the vast surfaces of this bleak planet we call Earth. Over time, the vapid overbearing reality of this capitalist society crushed the very essence of such dreams, year after year cast into the inferno of minimum wage employment as I hopelessly struggled in vain to afford the mere essentials of tepid sustenance and housing. Tell me, why must we trample upon the dreams of others? This is the way it's always been. And preservation of the wealthy. Oh yeah, I like that. That's like Robin Hood. Ask yourself this. Do these very same people hold your best interest as heart? We do not trample each other into the ground just to sell us back the very air we breathe as I struggle for breath within the molded confines of the single room apartment, counting the days till my inevitable demise. I can but weep for this society. I merely hope that future generations strive for more than this mere pursuit of preservation, thanklessly working. My god, big words. I can't do big words. Ourselves into early graves for those oblivious to our strife. That's a good game. No, that's Oblivion, not Obliv. Sentence seems as though a curse to preserve a cruel nature of this existence. I'm quite sure I butchered a couple of words, maybe more than a couple, okay? So don't mind that. I hope you don't. Just let's focus on the game. The suffering we so casually inflict on one another. A single soul is of little significance. In such a society, what power do we have to change this callous fate? Without wealth nor status, one's action mean but not. For all the well-intentioned decisions, we are hopelessly ill-equipped to enact the positive. Change we hope to see upon this planet, tormented by the knowledge that those with the capacity to opt not to build a bright future for all. The problem with the font here is the O's and the A's. They look kind of the same, but I guess the A is different, so I should just always go with O. You're here to collect the rent, aren't you? Have you been listening at all? Is our suffering but a joke to you, flesh bodies? All we seek is the simple bliss of freedom, the merest joy of shelter, and brief respite from this constant teetering at the edge of starvation. The wealth hoarders lord over us, cackling as our bodies succumb to the mental extinguish of a thankless soul, crushing labor all the time. Of our brief existence whittled away, our persistent tales for naught as we break under the weight of this insurmountable exploitation. I think I aced that word. Rent takes all that we have, all that we are. Must you leave us with nothing? This time I'm not gonna harvest rent. Ignore the rent. You know not what you have spared me from. With all my being, I thank you. I mean, this guy had a good story. The others, I don't know. The rent here is incessant. It drains the very fabric of one's being. It destroys the will and tears one's soul asunder. Bless you. One day I hope to repay this kindness. Alright, we're going back to the tombs. Do I really have to go through these again? Jesus. Why look at you, ever the sympathetic one. Those lowly deeds must have made you feel pretty special, huh? You disgust me. Can you feel it though? The rot coursing through your veins, oh my god, is it? Why else did you think I would have visited my own apartment, hey? What did you think was coating those sodden walls, mere mold? You better leave. There is nothing here for you but the incessant gnawing of the spurs as they gradually consume your... I mean, I've heard that. Apple to apples, dust to dust. That's the saying, right? No, that's ashes to ashes. Find an apartment of your own and rot. You're pathetic beyond belief. Can't even talk. Wow. Shallow Lagoon. Is that the entire game? I think that's the entire game. Wow. So did I get a good ending? I think that's the good ending. I mean, let me just check again. The rent is long overdue. Okay, we're back to square one. I guess we got the good ending because we spared some people. Maybe I shouldn't have spared those people, and then I would have got something different. But overall, I like the aesthetic. I like the visuals. I liked most of the stuff in this game. You know, this is cool. You know, when I'm talking to you guys, I can actually say my opinion about the game. So far, I thought this was horror, but there was no jump scares here. So, I don't know. Let me continue on. Maybe off screen if I get something different. I will, Problem is, I can't skip these dialogues. Okay, we gotta go inside. This time, I will take the rents of everyone. Alright? I will just speed run through this and see what happens. Harvest. Okay, harvest. Let me say gross. I just wanna see. I know you are, but what am I? I mean, he's making fun of me. Actually, who am I kidding? You're right. Do you think it's easy? Passively watching as your skin decays? Okay, I mean, we're back to square one. Skip. Alright, harvest rent. Alright, we took the rent for all 3 people. You should be happy now, dude. You should be... For scum, I honestly wasn't expecting such success. I have to say congratulations, you have done me well. Releasing those wretched tenants of the accursed lives they so dearly clung to. I think that was lives. Okay. Tell me, was it easy? I do hope not. Those fools were ever on my case demanding luxuries such as heating and water. Look me in the eyes. I am no charity. You think I can afford to spend this wealth on items I shan't experience? Loathsome apple-fleshed vermin. How filthy. I shudder at the mere thought of those apartment dwellers, breathing the same air as I. Do you know how long I'll take me to scrub those rooms of the remains now that they're all gone? Who do you think will cover the costs? You! That's right, me. Anyway, you have the apples, right? Give them here. Oh my, the 2 endings? Come on. How about... It should be here you go. Okay, here you go. He ate them? Slurp. Crutch. Snap. Slurp. Crutch. The growth. The growth is all mine. What growth? What is this? I'll be rich. Rich beyond reason. So that's like a One Piece thing? Like the forbidden fruit? Is that... Arrgh. Oh shit. He deformed. Yeah, his face is messed up, man. I thought he would gain powers and shit, but no, he just... Yeah. Click on it. Oh, so that was the second ending. Beautiful. The game as a whole, as I said, before going into the ending, I like the aesthetics, I like the visuals, it's very trippy. It's like a trippy experience. There's a lot of big words, I'm sure I've learned a couple of them now, just reading from the dialogue, but I liked it. And I do recommend all of you to try this game. It's totally free, you're not paying anything. I will leave a link in the description. And if you're still watching, don't worry, the next videos will be no commentary. I just pop in from time to time. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for more trippy games, I guess. See you next time.